Hi, I'm Zibby Owens, and you're listening to Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. This 30-minute podcast features a new author interviewed by me every single day, 365 days a year, for about 30 minutes. I am also the publisher for Zibby Books, which publishes 12 books a year in fiction and memoir. Our books are already out now. You can check it out on zibbybooks.com. And we have a magazine called Zibby Mag, where we have lots of wonderful essays and lifestyle features. That's at zibbymag.com. We have classes at zibbyclasses.com. And I recently opened a bookstore in LA called Zibby's Bookshop at 1113 Montana Avenue at 11th Street in Santa Monica. I hope that you are able to enjoy some of our other offerings. But this here podcast is the basis of all of it and started in 2018. And no matter what I do, this is basically my favorite thing. Enjoy. Hi, everybody. Today we have a special double episode all devoted to Judy Blume, who I am beyond honored to have interviewed twice, albeit briefly, in 4 days, even though my whole life it has been my dream to interview her. The first episode is this one, and it is about the movie Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Of course, this was one of my absolute favorite books growing up, like probably all of yours. And, well, I shouldn't assume that. But anyway, it was one of mine, and Judy Blume has been just top of my list forever. And I was asked to watch the movie early, and then I got to attend this very fancy Zoom press junket, which I'd never really done before, where alongside a couple other journalists who were all from sort of mom-related outlets, we got to interview two different groups of amazing people. The first was Judy Blume with Kelly Fremon Craig. And after that, Rachel McAdams with Ryder Fortson, the stars of the movie, which was insane. So Judy Blume, for those of you who aren't familiar with her work, has written 29 books, which have sold more than 90 million copies in 39 languages. She has been a touchstone for countless young readers, many of whom have been inspired as grown-ups to write their own books. She has won the NCAC honor for her courageous defense about free speech. She was awarded the National Book Foundation Medal for Distinguished Contribution to American Letters in 2004 and the Library of Congress's Living Legends Award in 2000. And she received the 2017 E.B. White Award from the American Academy of Arts and Letters. And actually, there are like a bunch more awards. She's just amazing, and she has written so many books, which I am sure you have read, maybe you didn't even know: The Pain and the Great One, Freckle Juice, Soupy Saturdays, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, otherwise known as Sheila the Great, Super Fudge, Blubber, Then Again Maybe I Won't, Tiger Eyes, Forever, Deanie, and Wifey, Smart Women, Summer Sisters, and In the Unlikely Event for Grown-Ups. Kelly Fremon Craig is the screenwriter and also adapted the book. She is wonderful and amazing, and this is a great, huge project for her, and she's just awesome. After that, we had our second little junket, which was with Rachel McAdams, who is the star of The Notebook and many other movies, major movie star, and the new debut talent, Ryder Fortson, who stars as Margaret. I hope you will enjoy this episode. It was beyond exciting for me, and I hope it is for you too.
We're going to start today with Karen Cicero, the Week Junior. First question, please.
Hi, The Week Junior is a publication for kids 8 to 14. My question is, what advice would you have for kids this age who want to be writers?
Oh, dear. Are you directing that at me? I have a feeling you.
Yes, thank you.
You know what makes a writer a reader? So the best thing that you can do is read, because that's how you learn. Nobody can teach you to write. You know, it's deep inside. It comes from inside you. And if you need to write, you will, because otherwise, why bother? I'm not talking school. I'm talking, to become a writer.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sarah Ashwell from Scary Mommy.
Hi, Judy and Kelly. This first question's for Judy. Tell me what it was like to watch the movie for the first time and what that feeling, how it might have affected what you think about making your other books into movies in the future.
There will never be another experience like this one with Kelly. Never, never, never. It's just the experience of a lifetime. Watching it the first time, well, I guess, did I see a draft first?
You probably did see a draft first. Yeah, like a slightly longer version, and then we were tweaking, and it was
because I was, watching things. I was there sometimes in person, so it wasn't like a complete shock to me. It was wonderful and moving, and I watched it with my husband. It made him cry. It made us laugh. It's the most wonderful movie. I love it.
Next, we have Zibby Owens. Moms don't have time to read books.
Hi, thank you both so much. I loved this movie. This might be my favorite movie of all time. I cried like 20 different points. I was also a Jewish girl growing up with the same issues. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
that's so great.
Like seriously, I was crying thinking, you don't see some of these scenes in movies, even the temple scenes and all of that. So it was really poignant on so many levels. I'm wondering what your favorite parts are, both of you.
You go first.
Oh gosh, I absolutely love Margaret's first kiss in the closet. There's something about that scene that just like my heart pounds with her every single time. And that actually was both of those kids' first kiss. We watched it. It's on screen. Yeah. So that's
They'll always remember when they're asked,
Yes.
so where was your first kiss?
It's like you can see
in the
it.
bathroom.
You can rent the DVD.
and-
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
What is my favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite, there's so many of them. I mean, there's a moment that I'm not going to tell you because it's a spoiler, but it makes me burst out laughing every single time. It's like now, I know it's coming, I'm not going to laugh, and I cannot control myself. And that's a moment between Margaret and Nancy when they're just getting to know each other. I won't say any more about that. But it's so poignant. I mean, Grandma, Margaret with Grandma, there's, the vulnerabilities, the humor, it's real life, and I love it. I look at it as something different, not something that I wrote, but something that I'm watching that I'm just loving. I'm removed from it that way.
Thank you.
Ashley with Mom Tourage.
Actually, Carrie's going to take this one. Yeah.
I'm taking this one. Hi, I'm Carrie Sotero with Momtourage. Ashley is my co-partner down there.
Hi.
It's truly an honor. We are two Jersey girls right here with a mom podcast. And I want to mention that Exit 100, your rest stop, is my favorite. It's my favorite rest stop to go to.
Yes.
We talk about rest stops on the show all the time. Yours is my favorite, just so you know.
I've only been there once, and when I was there, we were very excited, and we went inside, and there was nothing. There was no display. There were no.
Oh, your books are all over there. Beautiful pictures of you.
Up yet, so I can't wait to see it again.
I'll send you pictures, Judy. I've
I've seen them. I've seen pictures.
Oh, good. Okay. So we just wanted to say, so we started Momtourage because we were two moms that felt adrift after having children, both creatively and personally. We no longer recognized the women who we were. And this is just when your creative career really took off. And you did it in a time when women were not working as much, and women usually either had kids or worked. And if you worked, maybe you were considered to not enjoy taking care of your kids. And you did well and loved both of those things so amazingly. What was it like being with the other mothers in the cul-de-sac when that happened? When you started writing so real and juicy books like Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret? Like, how was that with being with the other women mothers?
I don't know that anybody ever said anything to me about it. It was so surreal. Kelly and I have talked about this, how different it was then. It was like, she thinks she can write books now. I didn't feel any support, and that's sad. I'm still very friendly with someone from that cul-de-sac, so, I take her out of this, but I felt alone. I felt so alone. And for Kelly, it's, different generation.
Yeah.
Lots of women are working. Most women are working.
Yeah. But still a really hard balance. I find I'm constantly dealing with like crushing maternal guilt because I work a lot and I love my work. But sometimes that means it takes me away from my kid, and trying to find like the balance between those things has been tough. They sometimes feel at odds,
Well, thank you both for making us feel less alone, because you really have.
But now you guys are out there to help others who are going through it. So that's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Next, we have Kristen with Rage Against the Minivan.
My question is, I read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, when I was 12 in the 80s, and my daughter India is here. She read it when she was 12 a couple years ago. It's such a timeless story. So I was curious, was there ever consideration of making the movie set in modern times, and why did it feel important to keep it in the 70s?
Kelly.
Yeah, never, not even for a half a second did we think about modernizing it.
And not even for half a second would I have let them make this that was the one thing I knew before I met them. If they said, no, we have to modernize it, I would have had to say no.
Yeah, no. And I think part of it is, I'm such a fan of the book. I felt like I wanted to make the most faithful adaptation that I could. But also, I think that there's something about when you're, a girl this age now, watching somebody 50 years ago go through the same thing that you're going through today, there's something reassuring about that, knowing that there's this long lineage and we've all been through it and everybody going forward will go through it, and there's something connecting about that, I think.
Connected.
Yes.
I've always said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Connects the generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you.
I just want to tell you that today, I would say girls are reading it younger, starting at 9, probably more than 12, which is fine.
Yeah, great.
All right, second question for Karen Cicero.
Following up on that last question, what time period do you think it was easier for girls growing up, back in the 70s or today?
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably harder today because of social media, and that's what I hear anyway. I mean, I would, every generation has a hard time.
Yeah, yes.
We all have our own hard times, but to me, I think that adds something to it to make it harder.
Yeah, I completely agree. It adds a different pressure. I don't think it's healthy to be able to see everyone else's life, in front of you all the time and be able to, I think it makes you compare yourself far more than you would if you weren't seeing those images thrust at you all day long, every day,
And it's not all true.
And it's not all true.
Right?
Yes, of course. We all put our best foot forward,
We did that in the 70s and the 50s and the 40s. I mean, some of it is timeless that way. I mean, how you look at yourself. We certainly compared ourselves to our friends then. And, tough. Growing up is tough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sarah?
I had the pleasure of screening this movie with my 10-year-old daughter about 30 years after I read the book myself, and it was a really special experience. After the movie, I asked her if she had any questions for the two of you, and she wants to know, why didn't you show period blood?
Why did what?
Why didn't we show period blood? Why didn't we show it? Oh, that's
Did we show?
No.
No. Oh.
No, I mean,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never. That is really interesting. I've never been asked that. You know, because it was more about, I think, her where she was emotionally, like how she felt about it, than the actual specific. Yeah.
And also the actual specifics of it is different for everyone.
That's right.
So you know,
if you showed it one way, it might be like, oh, mine doesn't look like that.
Right.
You know,
And we're not Carrie.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And Zibby, second question.
I loved the scene where Margaret gets her first bra, and it brought me back to, hiding between all of the nightgowns at Bergdorf's, and my mother put me through the same thing. I was wondering if you could share your own experiences of getting your first bras.
Oh, I got my first bra, I think I was in 7th grade. Now, this is what I think. I was in 7th grade, and it was bar mitzvah year, and so there were a million big parties, and that's when I got my first bra. But I also remember something that was like a grow bra.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it really was, and I do remember the gym teacher measuring us for our leotards in the dance troupe, and she said just what that woman says to
really?
Margaret. 28, dear. Not even a
Double A. Yes. Yeah.
What about you?
So I was a really late bloomer, which is part of why I related to the book so much, because I was praying to God for a decent pair of boobs to finally come in. So I wore kind of like what you're talking about, like a training bra, or like a
training bra.
Yeah, training bra, or like a
right.
sports bra almost. Just it was like a fake bra, So then when I was 14, it was finally like, okay, maybe there's like barely enough to go actually get a bra. And at that time, this was in the 90s. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was this big thing where the Wonder Bra came to
Wonder Bra. Oh my.
Yes. And it was like a thing where a plane landed and these like models from Europe got off the plane with their bras, and it was like, this is gonna give you the chest you want, And so I went with my best friend to go get the Wonder Bra. Yes.
The Wonder Bra.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, because it was. I mean, it was like that much padding, so it was completely false advertising. But yeah, and then I remember being embarrassed at school because I was like, "Do people know this is just a Wonder Bra?"
But what's funny is in the 70s, of course, we all took off our bras. Nobody wore a bra. I mean, nobody wore a bra that I knew anyway. I was an adult woman with kids, but that was bra burning time. So I wonder about kids coming of age in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, Margaret is, and of course,
Right,
that's
yeah.
just 1970.
Yep. Yeah.
But,
But interestingly, we had Rachel not wear a bra through most of the movie because of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Anne Roth, our costume
interesting.
designer, was the one who talked about that and
How
and
interesting
encouraged
what
that
she
choice. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah. Just a little.
Oh, now I know a secret.
Yeah.
Us too. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our roundtable. Please say your goodbyes and then exit the room.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Everybody, thank you. That was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And this is roundtable number 1 with Rachel and Abby. And hello, welcome all. Just waiting for everyone to connect to audio and settle. Hello all, welcome to your roundtable with Rachel and Abby. Just a couple quick reminders. Please stay on mute in between questions. Please introduce yourself with your name and your outlet before you ask your first question. And please as well, no follow-up questions. Oh, and I'm just waiting for India to join to audio here. We'll get started while I wait for her to connect. Zibby, you have the first question.
Hi, Abby and Rachel. I am Zibby Owens from the podcast Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. And
That's a good title.
Thank you. Thank you. Obsessed with this movie. I cried a million times. I loved it more than anything. I loved the book, but the movie, oh my gosh, you guys did an amazing job. And I am just so honored to talk to you about it. Having just watched it, it's like a dream come true. Rachel, I know you were in Mean Girls, and there's a lot of Mean Girl themes and friendship and the complexity of girls and women's friendship in the story. I was just wondering if the two of you could share the meanest thing someone ever did to you as a child.
Do we have to go back there? Is there a therapist close by?
Yeah.
For the aftermath? Oh boy, the meanest thing.
I mean, I've had a couple friends skip out on me, but I don't think I've had
Like being stood up for a friend date.
Or no, just like completely dropped
gone.
me whatsoever.
Just like ghosted. Oh, yeah, that's pretty mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty mean.
Yeah.
I've had that too.
Yeah.
That's probably
Fifth grade is a weird time. It's weird. Everyone goes nuts.
Like a lot of shifting.
A lot of shifting. Yeah.
The hierarchy, the animal kingdom starts to.
Yeah. Well, that's a Mean Girls theme right there.
Right.
You know.
That's probably where I got that from.
Yep.
Thank you.
Ashley and Carrie will come to you next.
Hi, ladies. I'm Ashley from Momtourage podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you. I wanted to ask you, Momtourage we really work to be a podcast that's for moms, not giving out parenting advice, just a community where moms can feel seen and are more than quote unquote just moms. So for me, one of the most lasting parts of your career, Rachel, is that, everything is, but one of the things that lives rent free in my head is the picture of you pumping. It is so iconic, so legendary. It was right around the time where I was still breastfeeding my son. So what do you want people to take from that photo? How did it come to be? What was the motivation? Because I've never seen anything like it, and I would love to see something like it again, but I don't know if we will.
Thank you very much. I'm glad it lives rent-free in your brain. That's really lovely. It was a very organic moment in the shoot, but the photographer was really interested in sort of like women. She was doing a study on just women in general and the pressure to don't be too fat, don't be too thin, don't be too this, don't be too that, don't be more or less, or, just the constant, like, why is there so much emphasis on what I am or what I'm not? And then sort of out of that came, I have to pump, and we're running behind, and why don't we just lean into this very real moment we're having right now where I'm wearing a Versace bra, and I'm figuring out how the tubing can interact with that bra, and I was into it because I feel like it's hidden for some reason. It's this totally natural thing. It's how you keep your child alive, if that's the way you're doing it and not going with formula or something else. And it's still like, I remember having moments when I first started where I was like, is it okay to do this in public? And, just surprising myself that I was still having these thoughts of, is there shame? I'm feeling some shame, and what is that all about? So I felt really good in that photo shoot. I felt beautiful. I felt confident, and I felt like I was a mom out there working, and yet I'm still a mom, it can all happen at once. And to be on a set that was really embracing of that, and anyway, it came about very, very naturally, and it felt really good.
Well, you are so powerful and iconic, and it encapsulates Momtourage. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for all you do for moms.
Kristen and India, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Kristen with Rage Against the Minivan. Ashley, completely agree on the pumping photo. So iconic. Meant a lot. I'm also a therapist if anyone wants to talk further about our adolescent traumas. But I'm going to defer to my daughter, India, for our question.
Hey guys, so I loved the movie, and I think that going forward, it's for sure going to be a movie that's going to resonate with a lot of young girls. But just a question for both of you guys. What was a movie that you really thought shaped you when you're growing up, like a coming of age movie that you really related to?
Ooh. God. I don't know. I was obsessed with the Studio Ghibli movies growing up. We watched all of them constantly. Too. I don't know if I had a movie that really shaped me. I was more of a reader myself. I was in the library constantly, but gosh, I don't know. What about you?
It's tough, isn't it? There's a lot of, I feel like you're so influenced by film, or I was at that time. I watched a lot of stuff. I mean, Anne of Green Gables is a
that's a good one.
Beloved character, and I'd liked to imagine I was her, despite not being in the right time period or looking anything like her or anything at all. But there's a little Anne inside of all of us, right?
Yeah.
So that was, and I watched the Canadian 1980s series, Anne of Green Gables, about 1 billion times, and my dad always watched it with me, and he always cried when Matthew died.
Oh God!
Like, definitely always was gonna. I'm looking over, and he's like, "Woo!" Yeah. So that's a good one. That's a favorite. Yeah. You've read all that. I bet
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, loved it too.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Zibby,
you.
have the next question. Yes. Zibby, you're up next. Thank you.
Okay. What's something that went wrong during filming that we might not know about, or that made you laugh hysterically on the set, or something that is behind the scenes?
So there was this neighborhood cat who was really obsessed with all of us. And one day, when we were shooting, he came around. His name was Simba. He looked like a little mini lion until his owner shaved off all of his fur and then turned him into a plucked chicken. But he just sat down one day, plopped himself right in front of the camera, and would not move. So we have about 5 minutes of behind-the-scenes footage of this cat just sitting there and us all just going, buddy, come on, we gotta shoot. Yeah.
No one wanted to go pick him up.
No one wanted to go pick him up because he was just so cute.
So cute. He did become like the set mascot.
He was our little set mascot. Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, he was sweet. He was so fluffy too.
So fluffy for a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a time.
It was hot.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was really
they were trying
hot.
to do him a favor. It was like Charlotte in the
we were
summer.
shooting in North Carolina, so it was hot Charlotte weather. Yeah.
Poor Simba.
What about you, Rachel? The same thing? Anything funny?
I don't remember if there was anything that like went off the rails.
I remember I broke a door once.
You did?
Yeah.
Like slamming it? Or
Snapped the door handle right off from slamming
you
it.
just so angry?
Yeah.
Like in a scene?
Yeah, in a scene. In a scene, I wouldn't do that.
I'm sick of this job.
No, it was in a scene. But I just slammed it too hard, I guess. Snapped the door handle right off. You know, things happen.
You're like, we're going to have to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fixed it, though.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember anything that it was a pretty smooth shoot.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Ashley and Carrie will come to you next.
Hi there. Hope you don't hear my 4-year-old in the back. You know, moms have to multitask.
It's okay if we do.
Thank you. It's funny because you both were talking about this right when we first were in this room, but Momtourage, personally, I'm from Momtourage, by the way. We believe that you can have it all, but not either well or at the same time. And it's a crazy pressure to put on a woman to think that you can. You know, you're a working mother telling the story of Barbara, a working mother. We always say, is there one thing that you think that moms, and Abby, you can answer this too, not as a mom, maybe you're a pet mom, but as a woman, that they should outsource if they have the means to do so, since we can't always do everything all the time?
I think it's super important to have a community of support, and I know that tons of people have supported my mom and me and everyone, and it's really important to have a community, and I think you can always look to family members or friends for help, and it's important to know that you can ask them, and it's important to have people that you can ask for help if you need it, because sometimes you do get overwhelmed and you have so many things going on. And I mean, I'm lucky that I have someone in my life who I can ask, and I can call at 4 a.m. and be like, hey, what do you think about this outfit or whatever? But yeah, I think it's always important to have your community and support, and to be able to ask for help or outsource support if you need it.
Are you often trying on clothes at 4 a.m.?
No, I just have random thoughts going through my head. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, wait, what was I saying earlier?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of wish there were like little chefs for babies that could come around, like especially when babies are
picturing that.
Right? I know. I don't know why they have to be little as well.
Oh, a tiny little baby chef would be cute.
A tiny little baby chef, yes, who would just help babies diversify their palates. I loved with my firstborn the whole baby-led weaning and experimenting with food and handing him a giant carrot or a big chunk of broccoli. And, I was really into, like, just his experience with food and introducing new things. But the second one comes around and, it's like...
You're a little tired.
Baby pouches, which have come a long way, too. But, yeah, I feel like some, experiential baby food person would be nice.
We'll work on that for you.
Okay.
Thank you
Put
so
it on
much.
the list.
Yes.
And Kristen in India, we'll come back to you.
It was interesting watching the movie because reading the book, as a teenager, I resonated so much with the Margaret character. And it was interesting to watch it now and resonate so much with the mom, especially, that tricky balance of like, I'm passionate about the things that I love and making art, but I'm a mom. And I feel like maybe as a mom, I'm supposed to be doing these things. And how much do I put my art on the back burner? And, I feel like that balance is such a universal question for women forever, was back then and it still is now. And Rachel, I just wondered, like, how much of that resonated with you in your own work-life balance as a mom, as an actress, as an artist?
Oh, very much so. I feel like I am always sort of dancing between the two. And it is hard to do both at once, for sure. To your point, you can have it all, but not all at once. So it's the taking off one hat and putting on another. It can make you feel a little discombobulated, but it also helps me appreciate the one when I'm in it. I think my job just lends itself to this, that it's like it's full on. And I do find those times difficult in terms of getting enough time with my family. But there are these sort of short spurts of really intense work and creativity. And then I get a lot of time with my children, which is great. But I know that's a really unique scenario that I feel very fortunate to be in. I know that's not probably the common scenario. So yeah, I know it's tricky, whatever it is. But, I do think we're better moms when we are self-actualized, to a point. I think the idea that you can always, be doing what you're passionate about and always like connected with yourself is just, no one has that. Even people who don't have children, that's just like one of the life's great adventures to try and figure out, and you'll never totally get there. So this idea that you can be satisfied fully is crazy. But yeah, I do think it's a dance.
I love that you can do it all, but not all at once. So that's pretty profound. Yeah.
And on that note, that's all the time we have for this roundtable today. Thank you so much for joining. Please say your goodbyes and exit the Zoom room.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Zibby Owens and at Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. Also sign up for my newsletter at zibbyowens.com and sign up for my virtual book club and meet lots of authors on Zoom every other week. Thanks so much to Steve and Ryan at Texture Sound for the sound editing. And thank you to Morning Moon Productions for providing this fantastic intro and outro music.